Real solutions to money, relationships, wellness, and more. Shine a light onto your day and into your life. Power Your Life with Dr. Joanne White.
Hello, welcome to Power Your Life. I'm Joanne White, your host, and spring is finally here. Our first guest is also with us with some tips for planting and maintaining your garden's health and wellness this season. Here with me now from Bloomer's Home and Garden is Joe Zaccardi. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you tonight. So look at this incredible array, and what I'm very excited about is that you do a lot of sustainable practices, not only in your garden, but in what you would tell people who come into the store. Tell us why sustainability is important and what are some of the practices?
Well, organic gardening and sustainable gardening is basically putting back into the environment what we take out by using non-chemical products. I brought some today, organic products such as organic fertilizer, which I brought in to take a look at. I have organic soil. If we start to use organic products, we get away from using heavy chemicals that are polluting our environment and hurting our children, our families.
And not only is it hurting our children and our families and the soil, but all the wonderful critters that actually we want to support.
Exactly. Getting away from heavy chemicals and using organic gardening practices it assures that we have more butterflies, hummingbirds, things that you might not have seen in your garden about 20 years ago are actually coming back into the gardens now.
You know, when you first brought this in, I thought, what is this? And this is very exciting because I think I'm going to have it in my backyard. So tell us about this, Joe.
I think I'm going to lose this to you, but that's okay. This is a wild bird nesting material wreath. Now, in the suburbs and in the city, there's not a lot of materials for songbirds to make nests with. If you look at sometimes nests, you'll see they use plastic bags and things. Cigarette butts, things that we do not want our birds to get a hold of because it's not good for them. This is an all-natural nesting material wreath that basically you just take it out of the box and you can hang it anywhere outside you want, and the birds will come and take the material off. It's made of some feathers. There's some wool in there. There's some natural fibers from aspen trees.
So they pick the fibers off. And they create a really sustainable, healthy nest for their babies.
Exactly, and you can watch them too. It's fun. If you put this in a visible spot where they will come, they will grab the nesting material and they will fly off to their nest, and they will repeatedly come back to this wreath and take more and more nesting material once they find it.
How long does it last? Just for one season?
It'll last a couple months probably, depending on how many birds are picking from it.
Okay, great. Speaking of birds, how do we attract more birds and butterflies to our garden?
Well, using plants that attract, birds and butterflies. I have here a seed mix. This is wildflower seed mix, and this seed mix attracts butterflies and hummingbirds to your garden.
Yes.
It's the plants that they need, that they desire when they come looking for nectar and things like that, and pollen.
You know what fascinated me? These elephant, what are they called?
They're elephant ears. Yes.
I never heard of that before.
This is actually a bulb, a really interesting looking bulb. Very easy to plant. You plant that in a semi-shady spot. It's great for moist areas. And these big giant elephant ear leaves come out, and they last all season long.
And they really look like elephant ears?
Yes, they look like elephant ears. It's very easy to maintain, and therefore when you're using easy to maintain plants, you're being sustainable. It's easier to maintain your garden in organic matter when you're using friendly plants.
Which again is so very, very important. Mm-hmm. So we're doing all this wonderful stuff in our gardens, and people often just don't like some of what they call nasty insects and whatever. What do we do to get rid of them, but in a safety, if you need to, in a safety way? So again, we're not polluting the environment, the animals, the birds, the healthy critters that we want there, and also our children.
Well, one way is to plant plants that are easy to take care of. Also, you want to use plants that attract beneficial insects that will eat the bugs.
So when people go, well, you will probably educate them, but
Yeah.
let's say they go to a different garden store. How do they know what's what? How do they know?
Take a look at, when you look at any product, it will tell you if it's organic. I would look for more for organic products. I have organic fertilizer there, the soil builder, which is basically just aged bark, compost. It has lobster shells in it and worm castings. It's made from all that good stuff, all that byproduct that we get as consumers, and it's now made into a really interesting, good organic soil. That what that does is reduce the stress from the plants, and if we keep the stress down, then we don't need to use heavy chemicals, because stress breeds insects and disease problems.
So they get healthier and they're not getting
Yes.
all that.
Yes, that's
stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. So the people's cry to not using organic products is it's so expensive. It's more expensive. What's your rebuttal to that?
It is a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it benefits you. If you use a heavy chemical in your soil, it kills the microbes in the soil. The microbes which you need to transfer nutrients to the plants. And so if we kill the microbes and we kill the nutrients in the soil, then the plants suffer, and we need to add more fertilizer, more pesticides to offset that.
So it's more expensive, like you said, in the long run, and it's not as healthy, and it doesn't make everybody, all the critters and us, happy. And guess
Yes.
what I'm taking home with me?
I will not take that from you. That is yours to take, and enjoy that.
Thanks so much, Joe. Power Your Life will return in a moment. Up next, we will be talking to Erin Murphy, better known as Tabitha from Bewitched.